Shut my phones off. All right, thanks you guys for being here today. I appreciate y'all all showing up. Very thankful this week we get an opportunity to go out to Cal on the West Coast again, compete against a really good football team who's came up across some tough losses at the end of the football game. And so I'm excited to go against them. Head coach, Coach Wilcox, does a good job. Blesh, their offensive coordinator, DC, Sermon, and Coach Vic. I'll just say that Vic because I don't want to disrespect his last name. It's pretty tough for me to pronounce it, but does a real good job. So he actually did a real good job last week. They had two turnovers, one on punt, one on KOR. So they will capitalize off those and get 14 points, which made the difference in the game. So it's really good. Their quarterback, Mendoza, good football player from Florida. Got to see him before. I think he does a really good job. He gets rid of the ball real fast. His release is really good. Running backs, 25 and 1. Both of those guys can play. They're some really good backs. I think 25 got like almost 600 yards. One got about 200, but he's really dynamic in the passing game. They got a host of receivers. All of the wideouts can play from 6 to 8 to 13 to 83. Definitely 83. You got to watch him running those over routes. They do a real good job with them. And then the tight end, 87 and 10 are some of the better tight ends we'll go against this year. I think both of those guys are really good. Then on the defensive side of the ball, they do a real good job. Their D linemen are very stout, do well. 44, one of the top passing sack leaders in the country. Then you have number 3, who's probably the best corner we'll go against, and then number 5 is actually really good also. So seeing 5 play, he does a real good job. I like their corners. I think they do real well. Safeties are good. Linebacker, number 10, is really good. So they do a good job. It's going to be a fun game. Excited to go against them. As you see, every game in the ACC right now is coming down to the end of the games, and they all be in the fourth quarter. So I'm excited to go and compete against these guys.
Coach, how are you?
I'm chilling.
Just what you can say about addressing stopping the run, and just what you saw from that last game that you had against Boston College. I know the team has struggled at certain points this season, and that was out in the open in that game. Just what you can say about the defensive line and going up against the run in general. I would just say it was embarrassing. I felt as though we put the defensive line in bad situations. They came out and they just outcoached us, and that was able to expose what we were doing defensively. We needed to have a different front to be able to match up with what they were doing to us, and they just continued to run the ball. And I thought that the way they ran the ball was really embarrassing, and it's really bad, the way they were able to run the ball over and over. Got to go and fix it, sat down and addressed it and went through stuff yesterday, and we fixed a lot of things up. So I'm hoping that situation, that opportunity shows itself again. I think that we'll be more than ready next time, and we just weren't ready. I was ready for answer A and B, and then Coach O'Brien had C, D, E, and F still ready to go afterwards. So completely on myself, myself only. I just didn't do a good job at preparing everybody to be ready for that.
Chris? Fran, you mentioned it would help to have maybe a different front. I know this is maybe hopefully not too close to your game plan, but does that mean more 4-man front, or what do you think?
We're going to try to be a mixture of everything we could do. I think we got to give Fadel Diggs the opportunity to play what he plays best, and being able to do that. And that's being able to blitz at backer, because he done really well doing that during games. And then also him being able to go try and get the quarterback, being able to affect one side of the ball. So doing that with Diggs, and then having the opportunity of allowing Marlowe to do what it is that he does best, because he can read and do things. And I think we'll be on track and being able to get it done the right way this time, though. So I just want to put the players in the best position to maximize their abilities, and a lot of these kids came here with physical attributes, which we're trying to do. And then I also think when you look at it, it also was size. I don't think that we got to keep getting stronger. I think our strength coaches are doing a good job, but when you go and look at some of the body position on some of our guys of who they are and where we at, we play really, really tough. We play really, really hard, but physics is physics. Certain sizes are just a little bit different than others, so we just got to continue to got to bulk up in the weight room. And I think our strength coach and them have done a great job since January of getting us where we are. But as I showed some of the players earlier, we got a couple seniors that are the same size as freshmen in their room,
which isn't, idle, what you would want. Seniors are supposed to look totally different. So, but we're getting it going, and there's no excuses, nothing being said about that at all. We went out there and we got our butts whipped. We got to find better ways to be able to do it, and I didn't have us in the right position. But I'm hoping to do everything I possibly can, and I've been busting my butt since that game was over. Started Saturday night right away watching Cal, so just trying to move on to the next opponent as quick as I possibly can.
Coach, we've seen you change up offensive line personnel the past couple of weeks. What are you and your coaching staff looking for as you bring in and rotate the offensive linemen in and out?
To protect Kyle McCord.
We're going to go to the back row. We're going to start with Samantha, then go Maddie, and Jesse.
Hi, Coach. Thanks for doing this. I was just wondering if on Veterans Day you had any messages or any words for our military veterans here in Central New York and beyond.
Yeah, I appreciate everything you guys done, still doing. It means a lot to our country. I know I wouldn't have had the heart to go and join any of the forces. I mean, it's just amazing to have so many people that will do that and come back and still want to help and take care of our country. My grandfather was in the Marines. My uncle Charles was actually, my Uncle Charlie was in the Marines, fought in the Persian Gulf War. So, it means a lot to my family to see that. My great-grandfather, Nathaniel Davis, was also in the Navy. So when it comes to my family, it means a lot. I'm very thankful, especially for everyone around here. And there's a lot that I want to be able to do and want to be involved in. So anything that you may have that you feel we couldn't do, it means a lot to be able to do that. But very thankful for them, very thankful for all you've done for our country and how you've pushed for us. So it means a lot.
Coach, you mentioned after the Boston College game that a lot of it came down to coaching decisions, and a lot of that played into why you guys lost the game. What do you think that you need to see from the team and your players this week in order to get another conference win against Cal?
No, we're gonna compete. We're gonna start that today. I mean, all right, let's. So I always like to be honest with you guys. I'm not like a BSer, but if you go to our season right now, 4th and 9 and 4th and 1, we 8-1 right now. So I've told my players from the beginning, like, you could look at whatever your record is or wherever it's going to go at, and everybody have all these things they want to say, and everybody wants to talk about all those things. But 4th and 9, we make a play. 4th and 1, we keep our eyes where they belong, and we make a play. You sitting here saying how great it was. So 2 plays have changed our season. And that's football. That's how it is. It's the way it goes. And I'm thankful to be on the opposite side and not just always be on the other side. For some time the last couple of years, I didn't lose a football game. So being able to see that and being able to do it, I'm able to learn more. There's a lot that I'm learning, and I'm able to teach our players life lessons and to compete at everything. And you never know what play will be the play that can change the season, to go for good or for bad. So we're just going to keep pushing and keep playing, because it could come up this week, and next thing you know, it could be 4th and 5. We got to be ready to make that play. I got to be ready to coach that play and give the best call for our players to put them in the best position where they're comfortable enough to make the play the same way they did it in practice, if they did.
Coach, speaking of practice, you mentioned post-game after the loss this weekend to maybe pinpointing some things you could do in practice to get off to a better start in the game. Is that something you've taken a look at, or what are some of the things you can do to get off to a faster start?
I felt like we were just we was doing everything. I mean, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say stuff about officiating and things like that, because I see AD somewhere got fined $40K, and I can't afford to lose $40,000. So I would just say we had a call, and Kyle broke 65 yards during the first drive or the second drive of the game. He broke 65 yards down the field, and when I went back and I looked at stuff, I'm not sure. I'm just not sure what I would say about it if I was in his position as a referee. So, I mean, you take that call back. If that call wasn't there, then we're 1st and 10 on the 19. So, it's a little bit different, so things just go differently. So I think we're going to try and do the same things. I think I'm going to start to throw in some flags in practice when we do go down to bring us back again, and then to make us be able to go. I just have to put us in a little bit more adversity earlier on in practice, instead of having to play go and just throw a flag, just pull something out just because. And I'm not saying that they just threw a flag that was bogus or anything of that nature. I feel like they've done their jobs the best of their ability, but that's the way the game goes sometimes. So I think I need to do that a little more, put us in more adversity early on Mondays, which is our first quarter.
Coach, both Jackson Meeks and Arondé Gadsden went over 100 yards this week. What does having those different types of weapons bring for Kyle McCord in the offense?
It just makes us hard to manage us, hard to cover us. You know, it's hard to find out what exactly we're going to do. There's more than one weapon. Because at any moment, Trevor Pena could go for 100. At any moment, Darryl Gill, Amari Hatcher could catch a deep ball, do different things. And as you see, number 12 is consistently coming along. So, I mean, we just got different weapons on the offensive side of the ball. And then you still got LaQuint Allen and I almost forgot to say LaQuint Allen and Dan Villari, who are doing a good job and coming hard alone. So there's a lot of weapons on the offense. And as you saw, Kyle had 2 carries. If both would have stuck, he'd had 2 carries for damn near 80 yards, 70 yards. So, you know, our quarterback can run also.
Fran, I was wondering just some health updates on a couple guys. Darius Weatherspoon had the shoulder issue, how Jean Ray Reed's doing, and UC Willis. They got to fight through that pain, man. It's November, you know. They got to fight through that. You say tomato, I say tomato. I mean, you got to fight through that, man. You got to toughen up sometimes. I'm not saying those two are necessarily not being tough, but I mean, it's going to be some pain in football. That's why we play this game, and you understand and you know that. So he just got to fight through it a little bit more. I think he was a little jacked up, came out, went back in, but you got to be able to fight through. You know, you got to push through. You know, my thing is things happen, you know, in the game of football, and you guys got to be a little bit tougher to push it. You know, even if I get beat, I can't tell you it hurt right after I get beat. I got to go one more play and then tell you the next play after I get him back. You know, and that's what I'm looking for, that dog inside of guys to be able to fight a little bit more, which we got to push. We got to really take on Dart more, you know what I mean, in the toughness, the relentless and tough more. I'm not saying who you asked me about. I'm just speaking overall. When guys get a little banged up and a little injured, you don't got to run right out. You know, you don't got to go right out unless you have head injury, head trauma, your head's hurting real bad, things of that nature. You stay down on the ground and allow us to come to you. But everything else, man, that's a part of football. You know, you got to play the game. This is a violent game, so you better play it violent and understand that along the way there's some casualties that happen, you know? That's how I look at it.
Coach, just going back to that 4th and 1 decision-making and the communication aspect of it, what do you kind of hope to learn from that if you guys get put in a similar situation going forward and to put you guys in a better spot?
Make sure you got the right guy looking at the tight end. I mean, it was covered everywhere else. He wanted to do somebody else's job, the guy that it was, so just got to make sure you got the right guy, not looking at somebody else's job and doing his job. You know, I got a job, Tyler has a job, Miss Sue has a job, Matt Park has a job. So, like, we all kind of try to do our own jobs. Matt doesn't come and tell me what plays to run. I don't tell him what questions to ask me. We just kind of do our own job, and it works itself out like that. So the more that we do our own job, it just makes it flow around here so much easier. Right, Matt, isn't it cool that way? You know what I'm saying? So that's how we kind of try to do that, but it helps at times, but I think it's going to be a learning experience for the young man, and so that's one piece of it. But no one knows who it was because I'll never say who it was, so it'll just be a learning experience, and some things I got to put them in a better situation, you know.
Hey, Coach. We've seen Jackson Kennedy take most of the kicks the last few weeks. Just what have you seen from him kind of stabilizing the position, and how do you see that kicking competition just evolving throughout the season?
I mean, I see him constantly kicking it through the upright, so there's no more competition unless he makes it go wide right or wide left. And I feel like, we're going to compete every day, but he's constantly making them in practice. They compete in practice, and he's winning in practice, which is why he's kicking in the game, and he's winning in the game, and he's on a good job, man. He's a fine young man, to be honest with you. Like, he is sharp. He is really, really sharp. I finally kind of know what they mean about I will let that guy date my daughter, you know, that piece of it. He still can't date my daughter, but I understand what people would mean by that. He's a sharp, bright kid, you know, and he has a bright future.
Coach,
Coach, you're going cross country this week to take on Cal. Does the preparation change at all in maybe a shorter week of practice? I don't know if you guys are leaving Thursday or Friday.
We still gonna practice the same, do everything the same. We're just gonna get out a little bit before, but we're gonna do everything the same way. We're gonna keep it the same. I think the game is at 3 p.m. Eastern time, so we're comfortable with that. You usually go to practice at between those times, so that'll be during practice time. We just gotta go out there, adapt to the air. It's going to air be a little bit different, whether it be thinner, thicker, I'm not sure. So I'm not about to tell you what it be, but we just got to go out there, adapt to that, and then we'll be ready to go. We should be ready to go.
Fran, how has the offense, in your opinion, evolved? You talked about Dan Villari and putting him in different sets. We've seen LeQuint obviously continue to grow through this season, and you have so many different weapons for Kyle McCord in the receiving corps. Just how you would say the offense has grown and evolved at this point?
I think they've done a really good job. I think maybe 2 games this year probably wasn't our best, but they've done a real good job. They've been able to carry our football team, and I think we will just work well together. They've always understand that we need one more point than the other team, and when we don't get it, our quarterback first and foremost is upset. And then our offensive coordinator, he does a great job of managing the entire group and just talking to those guys. And then we bounce a lot of things off of each other and just telling different guys, all right, we think this guy needs to be there. You need to do this with that guy. You need to do this with that guy. And I think it helps a lot with everyone being able to communicate and everyone being able to talk. Everyone has a voice. Jeff Nixon makes the final calls of who's doing what, but we all have a voice, and I think he does a really good job of listening to all the voices that are around.
Last 2, we'll go Chris, Brent, and then finish with Samantha and back.
So somebody like me who knows far less football than you would come away and say, maybe, why didn't you guys stack the box more?
I already told you we got out coached. You keep asking me about the box and all that stuff. He ran the ball more. So, all right, how you want me to say it in Spanish right now? What you want me to tell you? He out coached me. He put more in the box. We ain't have enough in the box. We wasn't able to defend power or counter, and he ran it over and over as he should have. Coach O'Brien did a great job that day. He dominated. We'll get an opportunity to see them here next year. Until then, there's not really much more I could tell you about us playing against them. They beat us. They 2-0 the last 2 years. I'm completely upset. I owe an apology to all the alumni that played football here, the alumni that went to school here. Anybody that watched that football game that loves Syracuse know, Fran, that is not acceptable. And I have to take that, I have to accept that, and it bothers me a lot. But we didn't stack the box the right way. We needed more guys up in the box, and we had to fit the runs the right way. There's certain times we fit in the run. We got tackled better. So there's different things that we have to do. But Coach O'Brien and his staff, they did an amazing job. The running back coach, Savon Huggins, he did a good job. Those dudes they out-coached us on that side of the football. So they did what was needed for them to go and win. I really don't know no other way to tell you this except they beat us. They bust our butt. They ran the ball for 325 yards, and they passed for 60. So, you know what I'm saying? They beat us really bad, and that was worse than – I wish they would have went the other way. I would rather accept 325 passing than the opposite way, because that just shows that we physically dominated you. And I don't like to be physically dominated at all. I've never been a punk. So, to have somebody just constantly running like that on you is almost saying we punked y'all. So, for right now, he got bragging rights to tell everybody that they punked us. But I'm going to see him again.
Last 2, Brent, and then Samantha.
Fran, what are your big takeaways having faced coaches like Bill O'Brien and Pat Narduzzi, guys that have been around the block that just have that experience that you're catching up on? What's the takeaway when you have to face a coach like that?
I don't be really worrying about that. I'm from Camden, New Jersey, so I face dangerous people in my life. This is just a game of football, you know. Narduzzi bust our butt bad. He put a whipping on our offense that night. He took our best player out the game, so the ball bounced his way. 4th and 1 is why O'Brien and them was able to go and really beat us when you watch the entire game outside of him running the ball and doing that. So I don't want to take anything away from all those guys, but I'm not afraid of none of them, to be honest. I'm not backing down from nobody. I think it's opposite. In all reality, when the time comes and it clicks it,
I think Coach O'Brien been coaching now 33 years. I started coaching in 2013. It's 2024. So I'm not really, I think when the time gets to that seat, then it'll be there. But we're going to see them again next year. You're getting me mad right now. Not mad at you, but just we got our butts whipped bad. And our organization, our school, our alum, nobody deserved to see that. So, but we got our butts whipped bad. But, like, me worrying about playing and coaching against them, I'm honored that kid from Camden, New Jersey, get to coach against O'Brien, who went to Brown College, and all that stuff was kind of like set for them throughout life. And then I'm in the same situation, competing at the same level, a head coach just like those guys were. I think me being a coach right now shows every young man in the country who grew up with a single-parent mom, who's doing all those little things, that just keep pushing and fighting, and whatever it is you want to get out of life, you can get, because I took a situation and I'm in the same spot they all in right now. So I'm pretty cool about that, but don't ever, ever, ever ask me if I'm scared of anything except for my children passing away before me. You know, I'm never scared.
Coach, what preparation do you do specifically from Saturday when the game ends until right now when you come in on Monday, so that when you come in, every press conference begin, these are the numbers you need to look out for, this is who you need to watch out for?
I start
what are you
watching
doing in
the
those
game.
hours?
I start watching the game after our game. I'll watch our game over, and then I'll watch it again, and then I start watching the next opponent like that night as my wife and everybody go to sleep. And honestly, I got like a ritual. Like when we lose, I ain't even getting a shower till early this morning. I just be mad. I just brush my teeth. But it's like I don't deserve soap. I don't deserve to do all that. I'm just focused on like trying to get back and trying to make sure that our players mentally understand and know that I let them down, that they didn't do it. So just being able to talk to them, and then just I'm just focused on first quarter. Like today, Monday, it's the first quarter. Had to flush the win, getting ready to move on, get an opportunity to go against Cal. Me and Marshawn Lynch went to Cal, so like I'm thinking like, damn, we get to go against, you know, that school, Deshaun Jackson, different people of that nature. Quarterback, I think Rogers went there also. So like guys that I've watched when as me playing football and growing up and through college and all like that. So it's an honor to be able to go against them. So I just kind of go focus on the next team as much as I can. But, you know, I just wake up all night, especially when you lose. You like wake up like, damn, it really happened. You know, it really happened that way. So it's just different pieces. And then I just move on. Like I'm on with the week. Then I know when Thursday come and I got a meeting at 11:30 with Matt Park and all, and then it's like, okay, now it's more to the game and just moving that way. But there's a process that I follow every week, win, lose, or draw. Only thing is like my wife, I can't sleep in the bed if we lose because I ain't going to get in the shower for that day. I'm just mad and I just sit there. I just brush my teeth. That's what I have to do so y'all won't say my breath stink, but I'm just kind of locked in at certain things, certain ways. I think you gotta earn the right to do certain things. So, you know, winners get washed. You know what I'm saying? I'm a loser. I just kind of waited a little bit.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.